What's up everybody, welcome back to the channel and welcome back to my very own Volvo C40 Recharge and another ownership update or review of my C40. Now my car so far has driven about 35,000 kilometers and 2 weeks ago I actually went with the car to the dealership for its annual service. The car had service, not me. But yeah, I'm gonna tell you guys a little bit more about that. And yeah, an annual service, that means that this car is with me for more than a year already. And I think it's now like a year and let's say 4 or 5 months already. This was one of the very first Volvo C40s out there on the market. Hence I have the intro edition and still that dual tone color. So my roof is the onyx black, the gloss black. And the color of the car is crystal white metallic. A very nice dual tone combination. Of course that is taken from the Volvo XC40 R design, or dark nowadays. But anyway, let's tell you a little bit more about the first year with my Volvo C40 and the recent things I have noticed about the car. So in case you have been around here for a little longer, then you know of course that I had troubles with this car, especially in the beginning, like software issues, bugs, software crashing. I wasn't able to charge the car here and there. Also that one time that the car didn't respond to anything. I couldn't unlock it, couldn't start it. Basically the whole car was just crashed. That had to do with that module that more 40 series electric Volvos had. That was solved by the dealership, so after that all worked perfectly again. But yeah, we had some issues here and there. And then I also opted for that Volvo V60 T6 Recharge, the plug-in hybrid version. And that was cancelled due to, for example, bliss, the blind spot indicator missing. So yeah, I'm still with the C40, and don't get me wrong, I'm still enjoying this car a whole lot. It's just a twin, so more than 400 horsepower, it's super quick. But yeah, we had some things with this car. Also the one time that the air conditioning wasn't working when we were on summer holiday and it was quite hot out there. Or at those moments you are just really annoyed by a car not working properly. But then again, I gotta say, we had a lot of over-the-air updates the past year or so already. And with the recent 2 updates, over-the-air updates, the car really became more stable, more reliable, and more enjoyable as well. Now let's start with a positive one. 2 weeks ago, the car went for its annual service. Basically, it's each year or after 30,000 or 40,000 kilometers. Yeah, basically the standard annual service as Volvo suggests. But I was worried that I had to replace my 4 tires. Electric vehicles, they are quite notorious to go through their tires quickly, especially all-wheel drive. This is the twin motor, more than 400 horsepower, as I said. So yeah, from time to time, for example right now with a green light, you just floor it and it flies away. But yeah, that of course isn't good for the tires. So I was worried that I had to replace my tires. These are big tires, heavy car of course. So yeah, I was worried that I would have a big bill on that. But surprisingly enough, I have the figure somewhere on paper. The tires were still plenty good. I mean, I think I can still run them another year or so. So that was a very positive note. No new tires after a year. But besides that, also no other big issues on the car. Now with this Recharge, 3 years of maintenance is included at the dealership, so that's a positive note of course. But yeah, basically no strange things from the maintenance. They just did their thing, updated the car as well. So yeah, I'm very positive about that. So then the thing I am a bit annoyed about, and that is the Apple CarPlay. And yes, it's nice that we have Apple CarPlay finally. I mean, it took like a year or so, even before we got it by an over-the-air update on this car. Yeah, Apple CarPlay, you need to run it through the wire. It's not wireless. Okay, that's not really a big issue, and you also have like little solutions for that, like these little devices which connect wireless then for you. But overall, in general, the connectivity with Apple CarPlay and the reliability, no issues basically. It's not that good. Often when I plug it in, it says like, okay, your phone is charging, and then you tap Apple CarPlay to open it up, and then you just have this black screen. And also from time to time the thing just crashes and nothing is happening anymore. And then when you are running your navigation through it, Apple Maps for example, and you are driving in, well, let's say Amsterdam lately, a good example, and you are looking for a small street, then it's nice to have navigation that is working and not crashing whilst you are already quite busy with traffic. So that was a bit of an annoying thing. So I hope we get some more reliability updates to make Apple CarPlay a bit more functional and a bit more reliable. Then some of you may know that I live in the Netherlands, and that is a rainy and wet country. Also right now it's summer, but it's cloudy. It's not really that you are like, hey, let's go to the beach. For the first time in a Volvo, I really noticed that this car gets quite moisturous, quite wet when standing overnight, or even like after a drive to work, and then you work like 8-9 hours and then you go home. Then sometimes it already feels quite damp, wet here inside, moisturous. And that's the first time I really noticed that in a Volvo. I've had previous Volvos, also an XC40, Volvo S90, V40s a couple, C30, and they all, from time to time a car is moisturous, right? That's perfectly fine, we all have that. But in this one it's really noticeable, and maybe from time to time I wonder like, okay, maybe this isn't good. AC really needs to work hard to blow in that dry air to get that moisturous thing out of here. So yeah, maybe it has to do with this full vegan leather interior. This is the Nubuck with the vegan leather inserts basically. Perhaps it has to do with that. But then again, my XC40, my previous car, was also an R design with the same interior, but then with the lava carpets. That was awesome. Anyway, that car did not have that as much. So it's an interesting difference. Perhaps it has to do with the C40, with the design of it, I don't know. But it's a thing that, yeah, I notice, and it doesn't feel that premium, let's put it that way. Then some of you might also be aware of this issue or this thing, this characteristic that maybe comes along with the Recharge 40 series cars, some of them, that are the vibrations on the steering wheel and the car. When you are driving, let's say in the range of 100 kilometers an hour or 62 miles an hour, then you feel a vibration coming from the motors, the battery motors, the drivetrain. I'm not sure what it is, but yeah, that vibration is there. It's a well-known issue basically. Many of us 40 series drivers have it, the electric ones then. But yeah, an update on that, not solved yet. From what I hear is that dealerships get the instructions like, just wait with it. We are looking into it in Sweden. I'm not sure if this is true or this is just to, get rid of or complaining or whatsoever. But yeah, the vibrations are still here. I'm pretty sure an over-the-air update cannot solve this. I really think this is a bit of a hardware issue, let's name it that. So I'm quite curious how that will play out eventually. Maybe Volvo is also ignoring it a little bit. I'm not too sure about that. But anyway, I would advise you, if you also notice that, make sure you tell that to your dealership and they make like a formal note of it to Volvo cars as well. At least maybe that way we can make Volvo a bit more aware of this issue. It's strange, if you develop a car and you drive thousands of kilometers with it, as they also do, then you also would notice that vibration, right? That's a weird thing, and yeah, it's not quality. It's just not good. But then again, let's stay positive. Fingers crossed they find a solution, but I'm very much doubting that at this moment. Now lately I've also been noticing that the connection to fast chargers, so to DC chargers, the bigger outlets basically, has been a bit more troublesome. In the beginning with this car I barely had any issues with fast chargers. Just plugged it in, tapped my card on the charging system, and there it went. But lately I get more errors, and that's quite annoying. Often when you are DC charging, you are in need of some energy, right, of some electricity, and then the thing needs to work. But I'm not sure, with the last 1 or 2 over-the-air updates, for my feeling the charging issues have increased. Connectivity is just not that good. Maybe it's a bit of dirt in the outlet, or I'm not sure, I don't know. I will ask my dealership next time I'm there. Perhaps they can clean it a little bit. Or I've also heard something that they need to replace a little pin on some of the cars. Well, as I said already, mine is the intro edition, one of the first, so maybe it still has that issue and I've been lucky so far. But yeah, I'm not too sure how we can solve this. Of course, as I also said in my previous video where we did a bit of the spontaneous road trip report to France, if you've missed that, make sure you check it out. It was a little fun spontaneous video. But on that video I also told you guys, like, okay, I'm having charging issues at this moment at Fastnet, but when you support the cable a little bit, that top right grounding thing that is over there connects a little bit better often. So from time to time when that isn't connecting properly or connected properly, you get this big error and the red flashy light and whatnot. So if you are experiencing connectivity issues with your DC charger or any cable, make sure you support the cable a little bit before it really starts charging and you notice, okay, now it's working, then slowly release the pressure a bit more from the cable. But you know, helping the cable a little bit, it can help from time to time. So good to keep that in mind, especially if you are now in the summer traveling to France or Spain or whatsoever far away and you need to charge. Make sure you try that trick if you are having any issues. But also here, let's hope a next over-the-air update maybe solves this. Now then, a positive note, lately we have better weather conditions, the roads are a bit nicer to drive, and I've noticed that the car is just really fun to drive. The C40, for my feeling, feels a bit more dynamic over the XC40, perhaps a little bit less weight in the rear tops part of the car. But yeah, the car is a lot of fun to steer whilst being a heavy SUV coupe. It's not only fast in a straight line, but also in corners. You can, well, really invite it to come and play a little bit along with you in corners. For example, here in the roundabout, you can take it pretty fast, and it just feels really solid. This is really fun, by the way. And there we go. And then on the gas pedal, there we go, acceleration. This car is just a lot of fun to drive, and me whilst I'm driving way too fast. We're in Mexico, by the way, so no worries. But yeah, maybe you see it. It puts a smile on my face, and I'm pretty happy with that. It's been a little while that a car has done that, or a Volvo car has done that. Yeah, so it feels a bit Polestar 2 here and there. And then of course this car isn't tuned in any sense or in any way related to Polestar, but yeah, it's fun to steer this car and throw it around some corners. Yeah, it just puts a smile on my face. So that's a very positive takeaway on this ownership update. If you're a bit into driving, then the C40, I think it's a fun car to have. Another positive note here is that with the recent over-the-air updates, the efficiency of the car really improved. Over here we have the little range assistance where you also can use that optimization functionality when you need a bit more range. That has had some updates, so you also see a bit better what you are at each second consuming of energy and whatnot. It's pretty cool to see from time to time if you're interested in that. But efficiency is good. As I said, I have the twin motor. On average, I drive about, well, let's say 22, 23 kilowatt hours per 100 kilometers in the winter then especially. But at this moment, the trip meter is saying, well, with more than 30,000 kilometers, my average driving at this moment is 20 kilowatt hours per 100 kilometers. That's pretty impressive. And this trip at this moment, where we have been, well, throwing it around also here and there, 28 kilometers with an average consumption of 17.5 kilowatt hours on 100 kilometers. I'm quite happy with that, quite pleased. Keeping, well, in mind especially again that this is the all-wheel drive. It likes to consume quite a lot, especially when you push it a lot, of course. But yeah, I'm pretty happy with that, and also happy that these over-the-air updates really noticeably improve the range of the car. So let's hope we get some more over-the-air updates the coming period where the efficiency of the car even becomes a bit more and more. But yeah, in general, I'm just really pleased with the updates also Volvo is pushing to the Recharge or to the Google cars. Maybe if you are not aware of this, Volvo can push over-the-air updates to your car if you have the Android automotive-based operating system basically in your Volvo car. So until 2 years ago or so, we had the standard Volvo infotainment system. If you want to update for that, you need to go to your dealership. If you have the Google system, then you can receive over-the-air updates, which basically means your car is always up to date with the most recent improvements, and that is very nice to have. That's a very enjoyable thing to have also in this one. It's nice to have the most up-to-date Volvo car each time. Good example of that is that Apple CarPlay, for example, came along in one of those over-the-air updates, and the range assistant as well. And there we go, guys. As you can see, I am quite pleased with this update. Yes, there are some issues here and there, but they aren't that big of a deal. Here and there, a bit of a quality thing or premium expectation you may have from the Volvo car. In general, I am pleased with the car, and surely more pleased with the car than previous update where the car wasn't working and well, whatnot. We almost sold it. It's still here hanging in. So yeah, that's a good thing. I think it's fun to enjoy this car this summer period as well. But that being said, guys, that's the ownership update after 1 year. Well, it's a bit more, but let's put this as the 1 year update. Let me know what you think of your Volvo C40 or XC40 Recharge electric vehicle. Are you pleased? Are you experiencing same issues as I am also mentioning? Make sure you also check out my previous ownership update videos on this car. I think it's interesting if you are driving one of these cars as well. But that being said, I thank you so much for watching. It's great to have you here in the C40, so I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know what you think in the comments down below, as I said already. If you enjoyed the video, please give it a like and also subscribe to the channel. That really helps me out, creating more content, getting more opportunities, collaborations and whatnot. So please subscribe, that really helps me. So thank you very much for that. And of course, I see you in a brand new video next Sunday. Bye bye.